All right, let's jump right in. If you've ever scrolled through land listings in Arizona, you've probably scratched your head, right? 1 acre is a total bargain, and then the plot right next to it costs a small fortune. Well, today, we're going to crack that code.
I mean, you see it all the time. One 5-acre parcel is an amazing deal. And then, what looks like the exact same piece of land just down the road costs 3 times as much. It can feel kind of random. So, what is really going on here? Well, consider this your official decoder ring to the Arizona land market.
The best way to think about it is like a big puzzle. There are a few key pieces that determine what any piece of land is actually worth. And once you see how they all snap together, the whole picture just makes sense.
Okay, so let's start with the biggest, most important pieces of that puzzle. Location, infrastructure. These are the macro factors, you know? They set the baseline price for an area before you even start looking at a specific lot.
And look at this. It shows the two extremes perfectly. You've got Maricopa County on one side. That's Phoenix and all its suburbs. Demand is through the roof, so prices are too. Then you've got a place like Apache County. Super rural, way out there. And what do you get? Affordability and a ton of privacy. Honestly, this one thing, what county you're in, is probably the single biggest driver of price, period.
And it's not just about today's population, you know? It's about where people are moving. You look at counties like Maricopa and Pinal. They're just exploding with growth. That creates way more competition for the same amount of land, and you guessed it, prices just keep climbing year after year.
And this right here really shows you the value of just being connected. See that huge jump in price for land that's near a major artery, like I-10 or I-17? That's no accident. Easy access makes land so much more valuable. It doesn't matter if you're building a house, a business, or just holding it as an investment.
All right, so that's the big picture stuff, the 30,000-foot view. Now let's zoom way in. We're going from the county level right down to an individual piece of property, because these are the details that really unlock a parcel's true potential. First up, zoning. You can think of zoning as basically the official rule book for a piece of land. It tells you exactly what you can and can't build on it. And this has a massive impact on the price. Commercial land, where you can build a business, that's going to be your most expensive. But land zoned for farming or just recreation, that's usually where you'll find the much more affordable options.
Okay, let's talk about a term you'll see everywhere: raw land. It is literally what it sounds like. Land just as nature made it. No power, no water, nothing. And yeah, that initial price tag can look incredibly tempting. But there's a pretty big catch that you absolutely need to know about.
And here it is. Here's the catch. Turning that raw land into livable land costs a lot of money. That so-called bargain can suddenly get super expensive once you start adding up the costs for a well, a septic system, and getting the power company to run lines all the way out to your new spot.
Now here's something really interesting, and it kind of goes against what you'd normally think. In a lot of these rural counties, the price per acre actually goes down the bigger the property is. It's a classic bulk discount, but for land.
And of course, we can't forget about the land itself, the actual dirt and rock. A nice, flat buildable lot, that's going to cost more, simply because it's easier and cheaper to build on. On the flip side, that rugged, beautiful piece of land on a mountainside might be a total steal and have incredible views, but you better be prepared for some serious construction headaches and expenses.
Okay, we've looked at all the different puzzle pieces, we see how they work, so now let's put it all together. This last part is all about action. It's your smart buyer's guide to actually using all this info to go out and find that perfect spot.
Think of this table as your personal cheat sheet. We've broken down the counties into these basic tiers. Want to be close to the action, the cities, all the amenities? You're looking at urban counties like Maricopa or Pima. But if your dream is all about affordability, wide open space, and privacy, then you'll want to start your search in the rural counties, places like Apache, Navajo, or Cochise. It's a super simple way to narrow your search right from the get-go.
So you've picked a county or a region, and you're starting to look at actual listings. So what's next? Well, this is it. We're going to give you one final super practical tool that'll let you evaluate any property you find like a total pro.
This checklist is your best friend. Seriously, for every single property that catches your eye, just run down this list. How far is it from a main road? Is power and water already there? What's it zoned for? How's the terrain? Asking these simple questions brings everything we've talked about together and will instantly help you see what that property is really worth. And just like that, you've got it. You now know the key factors that make Arizona land prices swing so wildly from one place to another. The code is officially cracked. So, I guess there's really only one question left. What are you going to build?